businesses who may not have gotten other relief funds. To that, Brian Camiller, certified public accountant with Plant Moran, rhetorically asked, does the city own or run nursing homes or affected businesses? No. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time 9:07.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier and empower your retirement. They talk about how a well thought out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
W News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is next. The White House is mulling over the plan to replace the Line 5 oil pipeline under the Straits of Mackinac. A spokesperson with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says they're preparing an environmental impact statement on the construction of a Line 5 replacement. Last week, Politico reported the Biden administration was reviewing data on how closing the pipeline would affect fuel prices in the region. The final decision by the administration has yet to be made. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is calling for Enbridge's Line 5 to be shut down. Ford stock is being closely watched. Tops $20 a share. Here's Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert.
Ford stock hasn't been this high since 2001. Analysts cite investments in electric vehicles, new hires, and moves to shore up Ford's finances. Ford stock has gained over 125% so far this year. It was $7 a share when Jim Farley took over as CEO late last year.
A scare at Michigan State University has come to an end. East Lansing police said witnesses spotted a man with a gun less than a mile from campus. He was seen at an Admiral Petroleum Company on the Grand River at Woodmere around 7. That's about a half mile from Cedar Village Apartments in Snyder Hall and a quarter mile from Eden Rock Apartments. A shot was heard south of Grand River at one point. East Lansing police say they believe he has left the area and think their search has turned up all clear. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Patchy fog possible in spots early today. Otherwise, mostly cloudy. Few showers by afternoon. Highs will top out near 55 degrees. Winds northeasterly around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, partial clearing. Lows drop to 33. Winds will be light. Wednesday, partly sunny. Highs warm into the lower 50s. Winds east-southeast around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy. Lows fall back to 42. And then for Thursday, showers become likely by afternoon. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now, it's 48.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a very pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to learn about a Christmas party on McCarty. And at 11 o'clock this morning, Medicare Choices will be the subject of focus. But we begin this hour focusing on one of the communities here in the region, one of the better known communities, and certainly the biggest tourist attraction that we have. maybe not only here, but in the state, and that is Frankenmuth. And we say good morning to the Frankenmuth city manager, and she is Bridget Smith. Bridget, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us this morning.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So, we're in the what I call the tweener season now. Summer's gone, winter's coming. As you look back over this year, as we, dealt with the pandemic, how did Frankenmuth do as a tourist attraction? Were you able to bring back people?
We have seen some steady visitors. We've actually seen an increase in people visiting us on tour buses, which was surprising and exciting at the same time.
Yeah, that's an interesting indicator. And I have to assume, bad word, but I have to assume that now that they've relaxed to a degree the border crossing issue, Frankenmuth was always a magnet for Canadian visitors. I would expect you'll see a lot more of those now.
We have started getting some phone calls even here at the city about where our Canadian visitors can get their testing because they need to have a clear test result to return home. So that was our first indicator that people are not only planning their visits, but are literally on their way.
Well, let's talk about the city of Frankenmuth. How is it doing financial health wise?
The city, we're sitting fairly well. Frankenmuth is a very frugal community, and so we are very proud of the fact that our millage rate is at 9.25 mils when we could levy up to 18, and so
Wow.
we pride ourselves from city council down through staff on doing the most that we can with a limited amount of resources.
Now, do you have ARPA funds?
We do. We have about $575,000. We have yet to make a final determination on how to spend those.
When we talk about Frankenmuth, what's the population of the city itself?
Just under 5,000.
So by all measures, it's a small town.
Yes.
How many people on any given day in Frankenmuth?
I like to compare ourselves to a town of about 10,000. When you count the employees that we have coming in, to work at our businesses and visitors, but on a busy weekend, we can easily swell to 40 or 50,000.
And in a town of 5,000, you wouldn't expect a significant police department, but you actually have a fairly good sized police department, don't you? You almost have to.
Well, we have again, I go back to the idea of being frugal. We have a fully staffed police department, 24/7 operations, but we also have a reserve department. And so it is those well-trained reserve officers that allow us to do what we do on busy festivals. Those are the officers out helping direct traffic, staffing, certain events that allow our MCOL certified officers to be responding to calls.
So, Bridget, from where you sit, if I said to you, what's the biggest need of the city of Frankenmuth, what would it be?
I would say one of the things that we've talked about recently here is attainable housing. So Frankenmuth is a really desirable community to live in, to retire in, to raise your family in, but our land values are really expensive. So to purchase a lot and to build even a starter type home, well over $300,000. And it's hard, let's say, even for a police officer who works full-time in the city to actually be able to afford a house in the city. So I think that's one of our big challenges here is how do we attract new young families or even people who grew up in Frankenmuth have moved away and now are looking to return. There's not really attainable housing in Frankenmuth.
Given the cost of construction today, the cost of land, the cost of goods and services, not a problem you're going to solve tomorrow, is it?
No. But part of what keeps Frankenmuth, I think, fresh and in a good cycle, not only of having visitors come, but having a really stable community, is that you have this mix of retirees and young people and young families. Because while we're this great tourism community, at the heart of it, like you said earlier, we're a small town. And to be a successful small town, you have to have that vibrant community underneath.
You mentioned the tax rate, your millage rate, about half of what you could levy. Has it always been that way?
Yes.
Has it always been that low?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to brag about this, but
oh, go ahead.
No, because I've raised it. We've raised it.
Oh.
City manager. But yes, historically, Frankenmuth has always tried to get the most bang for its buck.
But you have, you have fairly stable underpinnings, don't you?
Yes.
Businesses that are there, old line family businesses that have been around a long time, give some stability to that base, don't they?
I would say I think Frankenmuth has two superpowers. One is this strong legacy of locally owned businesses, and the other is collaboration.
Those businesses all get along, don't they?
As far as I know. And I think I think my experience living here and working here has said that if they didn't, we would never know.
Well, it seems to me, having dealt with them for many years, that they long ago came to the realization that what's good for one is good for all, because they're all in the same game. They need the bodies into town, and as we butts and seats and heads and beds is what it's all about. And they all work toward that end, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would even say the residents are active participants there. Frankenmuth, the people who live in Frankenmuth understand that we have, an unbelievable spray park that was just built a few years ago that other towns of 5,000 people would never have the opportunity to have because we have visitors who join us.
So if I were to show up at the next Frankenmuth City Council or Commission meeting, what would be the top of the table item that I'm going to hear about?
Well, we've been discussing short-term rentals. There's some legislation that's pending that is concerning. It would essentially regulate short-term rentals like any residential use. And the only throttle on that legislation is that it couldn't exceed 30% of your housing stock. So in Frankenmuth, that means you could end up with 860 short-term rentals or really tiny hotels without any regulation.
How does that relate to someone turning their home into a bed and breakfast, for example?
So in Frankenmuth, we have different standards for bed and breakfasts. So a bed and breakfast requires the homeowners to stay on the property, and so they're literally sharing their house with the guests. We don't have a lot of complaints about the existing bed and breakfasts we have in our city, in part because the homeowners are right there. So if a guest in a bed and breakfast is loud or parks on the lawn, the homeowner is right there to reel that in.
The rental legislation you talk about coming down from the state, is aimed at curbing one-night parties in these homes that disturb a neighborhood and tear things up?
Well, actually, the legislation, I think, is an overreaction to communities who've made it really difficult to have short-term rentals. So instead of telling local units, develop your own rules, the state is saying, we're not going to allow any rules whatsoever regarding short-term rentals. Kind of like what happened with fireworks.
Yeah, just the opposite. Hang on a minute. I got to take a break. We'll come back. We're talking to Bridget Smith. She is the Frankenmuth City Manager here on WSGW. And let me take a moment to tell you about my friends at Thalen Kia, because you always want more for your money, and it's time to think Thalen Kia, located on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Kia combines style, safety, plus dependability with their 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And it is included on every new Kia. And no one makes that dependability more affordable than Thalen Kia on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Get more value for less in a new Kia Rio S5 door. You buy your new Kia Rio S5 door from just $236 per month with nothing down for 84 months. It's time to think Thalen Kia on Euclid Avenue in Bay City, getting you more for your money because it's the right thing to do. Plus taxes, state, and dealer fees, 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. See retailer for full warranty details. Included 500 Kia customer cash rebate, APR 3.9% on approved credit. See Thalen Kia for complete details. The deal ends November 30th, 2021. And you can shop them online at ThalenKia.com. We'll be back with Bridget Smith right after these notes.
You know, we're all dreaming of something. So why not make those dreams a reality?
A new van with a new house with more than one bathroom. Oh, and heated seats. Or maybe even just some money to add a new bathroom to this house. A remote starter.
No matter what you've been dreaming of lately, Dow Chemical Employees Credit Union has a loan for you. With great rates, fast approvals, and a potential year-end loan interest rebate via our member giveback, DCECU can help make your dreams come true. Visit dcecu.org/borrow for more details. Membership eligibility required. Loans subject to approval based on creditworthiness of applicants and collateral conditions if applicable. Other limitations may apply. While member giveback rebates and rewards occur, this credit union benefit is not guaranteed. Not all loan and deposit products are eligible for member giveback consideration. Some limitations apply. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with lots of sound effects. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here are some zany sounds. Saving on home insurance is no laughing matter. Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need. The money you save could change your life. It's time for you to take your insurance choice seriously. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty. Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is
There's a fresh reading on the economy that confirms you're paying more. The Producer Price Index prices at the wholesale level rose 0.6% last month. The increase is 0.4 excluding food and energy. And prices over the past year are up 8.6%, the highest increase since the PPI has been figured this way going back to 2010. General Electric is splitting into 3 publicly traded companies. GE shares are rallying on the news. Its GE healthcare business will be spun off in early 2023. The other businesses will be energy and aviation focused. Panera Bread is planning to go public. The chain is working with Danny Meyer, founder of Union Square Hospitality Group and Shake Shack. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Your historic low rates may be a great reason to refinance, but when matched with an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot, you could be saving money and paying more towards the bottom line. Call a Loan Depot loan officer and ask about our 27-year Smart Term loan or our 10-year ARM loan. Get a great rate matched with a great loan by calling 866-888-LOAN or visit loandepot.com. At Loan Depot, home means everything. And conditions, equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 174457, licensed in all 50 states.
Hi, I'm Terry Rock. Are you happy with your Medicare? I am now, after I met the pros at Medicare Choices. Yes, you do have choices when it comes to Medicare coverage. No cookie cutter plan for me. You buy a pair of shoes if they fit. Get the right fit. A customized plan designed just for you that helps you protect that hard-earned retirement income. Call 989-899-7820, MedicareChoicesInfo.com. We'll walk you through every step.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
I love being able to share with our family who's listening how much we all love State Farm insurance. With surprisingly great rates, State Farm has saved us money with our car and home insurance.
I mean, you're my wife. You know how much I love a great deal. So, of course, I'm going to love the great rates and great service at State Farm. It's good for my wallet and for my family.
State Farm meets my needs. Plus, I get to control how and what I want for my budget. And I do it all from their award-winning mobile app.
Surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Robin Show. The supply chain crisis and the coming robot apocalypse.
Get your affairs in order, folks. Mark Lee, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And welcome back. Spending a little time with Bridget Smith, who is the Frankenmuth city manager. And for those that are unaware, Frankenmuth as a city is also surrounded by a township, Frankenmuth Township. Explain the difference to everybody.
Well, so the city proper has its own management, its own operation, but surrounding the city, Frankenmuth Township has its own elected officials. They're members of the board of trustees. They have their own assessor, code enforcement, but we do share police services. So we have a contract to provide police services to Frankenmuth Township. And we have what we call a city township commission, which manages the operations of the joint fire department. So in terms of public safety, the service that you receive as a resident in Frankenmuth, whether it's the township or the city, is pretty seamless. And then we also provide water to Frankenmuth Township.
All right, speaking of water, there's been a lot of discussion about lead lines, removing lead lines around the state, and now with the new infrastructure bill that's been passed in Washington. How is Frankenmuth with lead lines? Do you have any?
No, we actually don't have any. However, that doesn't mean that we don't have to find a way to prove that. There's been some ongoing discussion whether or not paper records are enough to prove that we don't have lead lines, or if we'll still have to dig up some services to prove that. But we don't have any. Now, that doesn't mean when we do our testing that we don't get some low levels of lead, but that usually comes from older pipes and fixtures in older homes.
And do any of those have lead lines?
Not from the city service, but inside the house proper, that's where we're getting some of the readings. But
So-
nothing to a level that requires some sort of action.
So you don't have to worry too much about that particular part of infrastructure. How about streets and roads? What kind of shape is Frankenmuth in?
Well, that's I think our streets are in pretty good shape, but if you would speak to our director of public works, he would tell you that we could spend $500,000 every year improving our streets. We take maintenance very seriously, and we don't like to see potholes. We try to be very aggressive on maintenance, and that's one of the reasons a lot of our subdivision streets have been able to go 20 plus years without a resurface.
Yeah, it's one of what I think the drawbacks of the ARPA money is it can't be used for roads, streets, and the governor's money that she wanted, the $3.5 billion, is only for trunk roads and federal roads, and it seems communities got left out of this picture.
Yes, and I think you'll find it, especially in townships. Townships don't have really local road money, so if you live in a township, there's no dedicated stream of funding that can help offset the cost of local road resurfacing, like neighborhood roads.
Which is a problem, because
Yes.
that's where a lot of the problems are.
Right.
We haven't figured out how to solve that yet.
No.
So in terms of Frankenmuth and the winter coming up, you all ready for that?
Well, it is Frankenmuth, so we've been planning for Christmas since July.
When do you stop planning for Christmas?
Actually, our Christmas decorations, I can't remember if it was October 15th or 17th. We start putting them up, so everything is ready and tested and good to go the week of Thanksgiving.
And is that when everything comes to life?
Yes, actually, this week, some of the last Christmas decorations are going up.
The town will be even more Christmassy than it normally is.
It is. So we have what we've been calling a new Christmas experience, which actually isn't spearheaded by the city. It's spearheaded by the Chamber of Commerce and Convention and Visitors Bureau. And it started in the middle of the pandemic. And honestly, when it was first being discussed, I thought, I don't know how we're going to pull it off. And we were so mired in what was going on with COVID that it was really hard for the city, I think, to get excited about it. But Jamie Furbush at the Chamber of Commerce just really had a great vision for spreading Christmas out over space and time, so people could still come to Frankenmuth in the midst of COVID. And it's just been spectacular. So last year there was a new Christmas tree added that sings, for lack of a better word. It's absolutely amazing. And this year we're adding a skate rink. City Beautification Committee, which is a city committee, has added additional lights and partnered with Parks and Recreation. They're going to do a drive-through Santa experience on 2 different weekends. There's just a ton that's happening throughout town, from the Chris Kindle Mart at the Farmers Market to all of these different activities right downtown. It's one of the most impressive things I've seen come out of Frankenmuth's experience with COVID.
So have you got your ice skate sharpened up?
I don't. They do have rentals though.
Okay.
I'm not sure how good I'm going to be, so I'm going to go with the rental.
It's a beautiful rink too.
It is. It's quite impressive. It comes with a Zamboni.
That's going to keep it in good shape. Now all you need is the weather to cooperate.
Right. Well, so that's one of the nice things about this rink is it's a little weatherproof because it comes with a chiller. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So even in times of maybe questionable ice weather, the skating will be good.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, sounds like a lot's happening in Frankenmuth, Bridget.
Always.
Then again, it keeps you busy, right?
It does. It does. They say if you always want a white picket fence, you always have to be painting it white. And I think that's what Frankenmuth does well.
Very good. Bridget, thanks for spending some time with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bridget Smith, who is the city manager in the city of Frankenmuth, we thank you for spending the few minutes with us this morning. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour. 989-752-6111, toll free 866-790 WSGW from inside the state of Michigan. From outside the state of Michigan, you can call 989-752-6111. Don't forget, if you're local, you do now have to use the area code 989. We'll take a break, and we will be back with more on the Art Lewis Show.
Keep the Saginaw Children's Zoo in mind while you shop for your holiday gifts. Visit our website to purchase a membership. Have a wild holiday and bring a gift from the zoo to your little ones this season. Stay connected to what is happening at the Saginaw Children's Zoo by visiting our website at saginawzoo.com.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you do?
We're proud to make your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at zip/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with lots of sound effects. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here are some zany sounds. Saving on home insurance is no laughing matter. Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need. The money you save could change your life. It's time for you to take your insurance choice seriously. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's 1 billion packages to homes across the country this holiday. It's the United States Postal Service. And we don't need a team of reindeer to do it because we've added more vehicles to our fleet. And while we don't come down your chimney, we can pick up presents for you and yours. So if making more holiday deliveries to homes in the U.S. than anyone else seems like magic, that means we're doing our job. Share the magic at USPS.com/helpers.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show for this Tuesday. And Russ is in Bay City. Russ, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
I just saw a CNN blurb that, due to the outcome of the Virginia elections, what can the Democrats do to get back the rural voters? And I thought to myself, maybe they should just keep doing what they have been doing. Demonizing and hating the rural voters. They should keep up calling them racist bigots and Nazis for not agreeing with the Democrats. And by all means, they should keep using America's journalists, late-night TV, to propagate this hate.
Well, guess what?
I mean, it's worked so well for them so far.
Well, guess
Why
what?
not?
Guess what? They will.
I know, and they won't get it.
Don't lose any sleep over it.
They completely are unable to do any kind of critical self-reflection to fix, because it's not their fault.
Well, understand, when we talk about this, we're talking about party leaders and politicians. We're not talking about the everyday Democrats and the everyday Republicans. We're talking about the people that make all the noise, that make all the press.
Like I said, the question was to the politicians. What can the politicians do to get the root? And they can't. The rural voters aren't as stupid as the politicians think they are.
Well, most voters aren't.
Too dumb to see what we're doing.
Most voters aren't.
Oh, we like you. No, you ignore all this hate. It's not coming from us.
Yep. Well,
it's hilarious.
They made their bed.
It's time to lie in it.
Exactly. All right.
You have a great day.
Good enough, Russ. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And we have Dan with us in Bay City. Dan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Art, I was calling in regards to this turnaround pipeline number 5.
Yeah.
And basically, I was listening to one of the national shows this morning. They were talking about that, and they had this one guy on from Michigan who takes care of the northern part of Michigan, Justin Palmerville. And they also had this other guy on from Scott Hayes from one of the Toledo refineries that has a lot to do with what comes out of this pipeline and what it actually represents. It represents a lot more than people better wake up, because this thing here also represents a lot of propane coming out of it. And they have these stations all the way in northern Michigan where they really are heavily concentrated. And he says that takes care of about 40% of it. And they're talking about shutting this down now. This one guy from the Toledo refinery, Scott Hayes. Actually, you might want to get a hold of these guys and bring them on your show sometime and explain all this stuff to you and your listeners. That he showed me on TV is about an inch thick or more. It looks like it's got some other factors in it besides this regular type of steel. And this is a thing that represents a lot of this pipeline. From what he says, this stuff is one sturdy. This isn't quarter-inch pipe or pipe that is thin.
No, it's heavy-duty pipe, no doubt about that. Here's the way I look at it. Let me see if you agree with this or not. All right. The opponents are claiming that it's a hazard to the environment. Well, it's been there a long time and hasn't been a hazard yet. Now, does it need work? Yeah. Should they build the tunnel to enclose it? Absolutely. But
they are.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Now, here's
they are in the process of doing that.
Well, yeah, but they still got to get it finished. Here's the thing. If we shut down everything in our world that has the potential for disaster, we wouldn't drive cars, we wouldn't fly in airplanes, we wouldn't cross the street because we could get killed. Everything has a potential for disaster. It's how you treat it and how you maintain it that counts. And so I don't buy into this logic that says, well, this is a dangerous pipeline because it's going to pollute the environment if it ever breaks. Well, you know, what ifs, what ifs, what ifs. What do you think?
Well, basically, I agree with that part of it. Now, the gentleman from the petroleum place in Toledo,
yep,
Scott Hayes, they get this tunnel fully in place. It's going to make it just about like zero that anything's ever going to happen, because it's going to represent catching anything that ever does come out of that area that could have a problem as far as the pipeline itself. And I used to deal with many of the steels. When I looked at this steel, it was on TV and this stuff. It looked pretty impressive.
Oh, it's heavy duty. It's heavy duty, no doubt about it. Now let's also realize that over the years, there have been issues that need to be addressed with that pipeline. The soil under it has eroded away. Some of the pipeline was hanging and not firmly in place. And these are issues that have been addressed. They've been addressing them all along, but they continue to be addressed and need to be addressed while they construct the tunnel and new pipeline, because you don't want an accident. And the way you don't have an accident is preventative maintenance. Now, obviously, when that pipeline was struck by an anchor and pulled off its mounts, for example, that could have been disastrous, but it held. When the one in California got pulled off, it finally broke.
What I do sometime on one of your shows is get, you know, a few of these people and have them on your show and talk to them about, let people know and educate them on this thing, because a lot of people don't know anything about it. They just think it serves just gas.
Yeah.
Or it's serving even things that you make for building products,
Sure.
even in the makeup,
Right.
even a lot of things, the
Yeah.
components that people don't
All right.
even have any idea.
Yeah, I got to take a break, Dan, but we will follow that. We'll follow up on it. And also, if that pipeline ever shut down, hold on to your pocketbook. Cost you a fortune.
During the pandemic, you're going to cause a crazy havoc thing, because people are going to freeze
All right.
to death, everything else.
Got to run, Dan. Thanks. Appreciate the call. We'll talk more about it. My Line 5 pipeline is very much in the news now because now the federal government's getting involved. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices CordellCordell.com.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart, or go to Navage.com. Navage, Navage,
The bipartisan infrastructure bill.
President Biden is celebrating a big victory.
There'll be jobs in every part of the country.
News coverage.
Virginia.
My fellow Virginians.
These massive supply chain challenges.
The current pandemic. It's time that you resign.
NFL star Aaron Rodgers, he has COVID after months ago saying he was immunized.
I made a choice that was in my best interest.
News coverage.
Created 531,000 jobs. Reached an unemployment rate of 4.6%. We're just getting started.
On WSGW.
And we're back with you from the Saginaw Spirit Home Studio. I'm Art Lewis, sponsored by Linda Shepherd at Pinnacle Realty, 989-295-7713 for all of your residential and commercial real estate needs. Linda Shepherd, also at Cafe 476 inside the Point at Pinnacle, M46 and M47. Just a quick note before we get to Al in Midland. I have deactivated my Facebook account. I was hacked. People started getting messages from me. If you were on my Facebook friends list and you get any messages from me, I didn't send them. So I have deactivated my Facebook account for now. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it in the future. I hardly used it anyway, so I don't know. Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What a pleasure to talk to you from the Saginaw Spirit hockey studio.
Thank you very much.
Hey, back to the previous caller about the pipeline and the price. You said you made a comment. Hang on to your wallet.
Yep.
I go back to the previous call that I had. I was listening to one of the NPR science programs. About the fellow made a comment, and I think he let it slip a little bit. He didn't really want people to know this, but he made a comment, and I'm going to quote his words. We're trying to make the cost of the fossil type fuels and the petroleum-based fuels and natural gas and things like that as expensive as possible.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at that as everything that we have, own, possess, buy at the grocery store. Everything is tied to all of these things: the deliveries, the trucking, the farmers in the field that grow the crops. All this stuff is tied to that.
The composite, the composite of the packaging, or you name it, everything. It's all tied to it.
So we're looking at if things like this and make this their wish to get this expensive as possible. We're looking at hamburgers at McDonald's at $30 a hamburger.
And here's the thing to think about, Al, particularly this administration. All for the working man and the impoverished, the low income. Who's it going to impact the most? This is going to impact the most the middle class and those below the middle class.
Right, exactly.
The very people, he's not going to raise taxes on anybody under $400,000. No, he's going to raise everything else. So it might as well be a tax.
And under Bill Clinton, or not under Barack Obama, the rich made out like bandits.
Yep.
The poor got screwed and the middle class got screwed. The rich that were invested in all the big stuff, they made out like bandits while he was in office. I just flabbergasted at the people that think that this is a great idea to shut down pipelines like this. If they were really serious about this, John Kerry would not fly his private jet. All these liberals that think that this is a great idea, they would be not using the private jet.
No, there was a story about
hopping on the subways and the public transportation.
There was a story about how many of the people at that COP convention, that climate change convention over in Stockholm or wherever it was, arrived by private jet, super yachts, and guess who was there? Al Gore. And guess what he wants to do? He wants to initiate satellite surveillance of all emissions.
Sure. Yeah.
So he wants it. that he wants to surveil every single power plant, refinery, every large ship, every plane, every waste dump, have the identities of people who are responsible for greenhouse gas emission streams, on and on and on.
Right. Art, was this a thing that Biden attended?
Yeah.
This is the one where he fell asleep.
Glasgow.
Right?
Glasgow.
Yeah. He had over 1,000 people from his administration fly over there. 1,000 people went over there.
All right, I got to go. I looked at the clock, Al. We're out of time here.
Could have done a Zoom.
All right, talk later. Take care. Bye bye. Back to close out after these notes.
You know, we're all dreaming of something. So why not make those dreams a reality?
With sliding doors. A new house with more than one bathroom. Oh, and heated seats. Or maybe even just some money to add a new bathroom to this house. A remote starter.
No matter what you've been dreaming of lately, Dow Chemical Employees Credit Union has a loan for you. With great rates, fast approvals, and a potential year-end loan interest rebate via our member giveback, DCECU can help make your dreams come true. Visit dcecu.org/borrow for more details. Membership eligibility required. Loans subject to approval based on creditworthiness of applicants and collateral conditions if applicable. Other limitations may apply. While member giveback rebates and rewards occur with great regularity, this credit union benefit is not guaranteed. Not all loan and deposit products are eligible for member giveback consideration. Some limitations apply. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain, whether or not you're vaccinated, accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at exergen.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
5.
Hey, what's with the countdown?
4. I'm getting ready to jump onto RocketGrabPlus.com.
2. Are you wearing a spacesuit?
1. Yep, it's go time.
Log on to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and check out new deals every week on dining, services, fun activities, and a whole lot more, where you can save 50% right here in the Tri-Cities and beyond. Looking for a great deal? Look no further than RocketGrabPlus.com.
All right, we're going to head up toward the top of the hour. We'll have news from CBS, the national and international news, local report. And when we return next hour, we're going to talk about a couple of things: Christmas party on McCarty and the 10 November play at the Bay City Players, all coming up.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. There's an ominous sign of a possible COVID surge heading into winter. Cases have jumped 51% in Vermont over the past 2 weeks. St. Michael's College is blaming an outbreak there on Halloween parties. Senior Cameron Rediker says students are getting more access to COVID tests.
That's really important because everyone should be reassured, especially with Thanksgiving coming up and people going home to their families. I think that it's really important to offer testing for everyone.
98% of the campus is vaccinated. Less than a week after the CDC approved vaccines for children 5 to 11, more than 360,000 kids in that age group have rolled up sleeves. CBS's Nikki Batiste is in New York.
The administration is encouraging school districts to use coronavirus relief money to organize vaccine clinics for students, like the one at PS19 in Lower Manhattan.
This is exciting and very much anticipated, and we're happy that it's here.
Dan Domenech is the executive director of the American Association of School Administrators. He says the sooner more children are vaccinated, the sooner restrictions will ease.
The FBI is now helping in the investigation into 8 people who died at Travis Scott's Astroworld concert last Friday. CBS's Lilia Luciano is in Houston.
The Houston chief of police said that he met with Travis Scott before the concert and expressed his safety concerns. He also asked him to be mindful of his team's social media messaging.
An electric company 2 years after Thomas Edison invented the light bulb is splitting apart. CBS's Jim Crisula.
General Electric will break itself up into 3 public companies. They will be focused on aviation, healthcare, and energy. The Boston-based company wants to streamline its businesses and cut debt by more than $75 billion by the end of the year.
CBS News has obtained a draft of a new Pentagon report that finds the military has failed to comply with federal law that requires support for survivors of sex assault. Pentagon correspondent Cammie McCormick.
Congress has mandated the use of investigators and prosecutors with specific training, but a new Inspector General's report finds 64% of them don't have that training. 94% of Air Force victims were assigned prosecutors not trained. Terry says it doesn't have the resources to handle the growing number of cases.
A Vietnam veteran who lost 3 limbs in the fight and went on to head the VA and serve in the U.S. Senate has died. His family says 79-year-old Georgia Democrat Max McClelland was suffering from congestive heart failure. This is CBS News.
Need to hire great candidates? You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform for interviewing, screening, and hiring high-quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Now, All A's is an exclusive authorized repair facility for BG products and services. BG is a proprietary group of chemicals, equipment, and procedures that flush your engine's lubrication system, cooling system, and fuel injectors, increasing the engine's performance, efficiency. Schedule routine auto maintenance. Ask All A's about the advantages of BG services. You'll definitely notice the difference. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair a business you can depend on?
Just moved to Midland. Was dreading finding a new auto shop. Search over. Came highly recommended, and I, in turn, highly recommended them.
They did a great job getting me in fast and had excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
In fact, 96% of All A's customers rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
We're still facing COVID-19, and now it's flu season. Why not face them together? You can get your COVID-19 vaccine and your flu vaccine at the same time. Just ask your doctor. You'll save time, and you could save lives. People 65 and older and those with underlying health conditions are especially at risk. Let's face COVID-19 and the flu together, Michigan. Get vaccinated. Learn more at michigan.gov/flu. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 51 degrees. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchak. State officials met Monday with local businesses, workforce development, and community leaders in Saginaw to talk about Governor Whitmer's My New Economy plan. That was part of a statewide tour designed to bring stakeholders together to discuss a comprehensive strategy to utilize American Rescue Plan funds to support small businesses, grow the middle class, and invest in local communities. The Saginaw stop included presentations from the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity and a discussion with local leaders to highlight their initiatives that fit into the new My Economy plan. Governor Whitmer announced her economic agenda last month, including the 3 pillars of her $2.1 billion plan focused on economic development, workforce, and community investments. The Salvation Army of Mid-Michigan will kick off its 2021 Red Kettle campaign with a 5:45 p.m. ceremony Thursday at Bronner's Christmas Wonderland in Frankenmuth. Here's Ann Williams.
The Red Kettle campaign kickoff event is open to the public and will include the Salvation Army Flint Citadel Brass Band. To end the ceremony, Bronner's president and CEO Wayne Bronner and Salvation Army Eastern Michigan Division Commander Lieutenant Colonel John Turner will ring the ceremonial first bells of the 2021 Red Kettle campaign. The Salvation Army of Mid-Michigan is looking to raise $2.4 million during this year's campaign. The money raised helps provide essential services to individuals and families in need throughout the region. The Salvation Army uses 85 cents of every dollar raised to provide direct services to people in need. Volunteer groups and individuals can get information on setting up a virtual kettle or register to ring.com. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time 10:07.
Take a sleigh ride with the Beach Boys at Soaring Eagle Casino. Friday night, December 17th. Make it an unforgettable holiday with the Beach Boys. With a corn cob pipe and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. The Beach Boys, holiday classics and greatest hits. Surfing USA. I get around. Tickets start at $24. On sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at Holiday Harmonies. Tickets on sale Saturday at Soaring Eagle Casino. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Michigan State Representative John DeMoose and his family are safe after a car fire over the weekend. The Republican state representative for the 107th District said he hit a deer while driving at US 130 with his family Sunday. According to a Facebook post, the car they were riding in burst into flames before they could stop, and DeMoose said, "Thank the Lord everyone is safe, and thanks to their incredible first responders." No one inside the vehicle was injured. Slow down and move over a lane if there's a crash on the freeway. That's the word from Michigan Incident Management Action Team's Ron Tennant, since emergency vehicles were involved in more than 2,200 crashes last year, including 4 fatal crashes and 355
Last year, there were 2,961 secondary crashes. And what a secondary crash is that there's already an incident or another crash or another event going on the highway, and then a secondary crash results from that. So, it can be distracted.
So it says it can also happen when people don't know how to respond to an emergency setup. When driving near an incident, Michigan's move over law requires drivers to slow down at least to 10 miles below the speed limit and move over a lane if. Are you planning to travel over Thanksgiving? AAA says 53.4 million Americans will travel over the holiday, up 13% from last year. That's within 5% of pre-pandemic levels of 2019. Here in Michigan, AAA Michigan predicts nearly 1.6 million Michigan residents will travel for the holiday, up 14% from last year. AAA Vice President for Travel Debbie Haas says the reopening of the U.S. borders means airports will be even busier than we've seen recently, so you should plan for longer lines and extra time for TSA checks. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few spotty rain showers possible late today, otherwise mostly cloudy skies with a high into the mid-50s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, decreasing cloud cover with a low near 32. Wednesday, we'll see increasing clouds, a high. Then by Thursday, a chance for some rain showers here with cloudy skies and a high around 60. Friday, a chance for rain showers here late. Partial sunshine develops, high 47 degrees. Saturday, mostly cloudy and a high around 44. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 51.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back. Hour number 2, the Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call at 989-295-7713. 295-7713. Don't forget the 989 area code. Or stop in and visit them at Cafe 476 at the Point at M46 and M47 in Saginaw. Coming to you from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio, we're going to talk about a couple of things later on in the hour. We're going to talk about a play at the Bay City Players called 10 November, which relates to the Edmond Fitzgerald. But before that, we're going to learn about a Christmas party on McCarty. And to talk about that this morning, a couple of folks with us. First of all, we say good morning to John Howard. John, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And also with us, Tom Roy. Tom, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing well. So, Christmas party on McCarty. I think we're all familiar with Party on McCarty. Tell us about Christmas and how are we doing this and what is it?
Well, John, this year, Art. Okay. This year, we started out with to plant a tree at the soccer complex, as Saginaw Township has done in the past. And one thing led to another. We've got all these people out here. So from 6 to 10, we'll have a party on McCarty with 2 bands and refreshments.
When is this going to be?
I'm sorry, December 4th, Saturday.
December 4th, Saturday. So it's going to be a party on McCarty, only to have a Christmas theme this year. Is that right?
Yes, but we actually start out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. From 3 to 5:30, there'll be face painting, games for the kids, all for kids, things to do. At 5:30, we'll light the Christmas tree. We'll sing Christmas carols. And then Tom can tell you more about the fireworks. We'll have at 5:45, and then 6 to 10 will be party on McCarty. We got a lot going on.
I knew the word fireworks would come up when I saw that Tom was on the line. So, so Tom, what about the fireworks?
Well, as John was saying, that we're going to have, it's basically the STBA is going to help fund a Christmas party on McCarty. And we're going to do lighting the Christmas tree, and then, of course, to end the celebration for the kids and Santa, Wolverine Fireworks is going to shoot off fireworks and have a great show. And then so go on to the party in McCarty with the beer tent and the bands and things like that.
So let me ask both of you, any fundraising attached to this that might benefit, for example, the Saginaw area fireworks?
All the money that we're collecting will go to will help fund this because we got to purchase the fireworks and the lighting and things like that. I'm not sure exactly what all is on the budget right now, but it's quite extensive.
So, John, how long? Let me start with Party on McCarty itself. How long has that been going on now? How many years?
Well, we've had 10 seasons, yes.
And the 2020 season was pretty much a washout because of COVID, right?
Yes, we did not do one.
How did you do this year?
We were down a little bit this year. We did charge a $2 donation for a lot of it, but we normally go every other Thursday night, and this year, because we pushed everything back, we didn't have the makeup dates, so we went a couple nights. We had a little bit of sprinkling rain the first night, and the second night we had a downpour about a half hour before we started, and it's all weather, Art.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But a good time for those that come. I mean, it really is a kind of a neat event at the soccer complex. So let's run through this Christmas party on McCarty, December 4th. You're going to start at what time? 3 o'clock, you said?
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to start at 3 o'clock with the food trucks coming in. We're going to have played with, music, Christmas music. We're going to do, Santa's going to be here. We're going to have face painting, arts and crafts for the kids. We're going to have tents, heated tents. So it's going to be a great activity. And of course, when it gets dark around 5:30, we're going to hit the lights on the Christmas tree, and it's going to be a fantastic display of fireworks after that.
And so the whole thing, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, if somebody wanted to be there start to finish.
Well, if you came at 3 o'clock, you'd be here till 10. It'd be 7 hours. But
you're gonna continue past the fireworks. Okay.
Yes, from 6 to 10 will be a party on McCarty. So we kind of figure parents might home and come back, or they might bring them around for a little while. We don't know what to expect.
And Santa will be there.
Yes.
Santa will be there.
Well, it sounds like a fun way to celebrate Christmas. And I suspect with everything that's been going on this past year or two, people are eager to do things like this.
Well, you know, Art, it all started out years ago where they had the tree at Green Acres Plaza, and then when Kroger remodeled, they moved down to Horizons, and there's such a traffic problem at Horizons. Brian Wolpert approached do this at the soccer complex. I said, absolutely, but we don't want to have a Christmas tree. We want to plant a Christmas tree. So we have that circle in front of our concession stand. We are going to plant a Christmas tree.
You're going to plant one this year. What are you going to display this year, though? That'll be brought in?
Well, we're going to have a Christmas tree going to be planted here the next week, and then we'll light it up. And then
it'll be big enough to light up and okay.
Yes. I don't know. I think 8 to 10 feet, I think, is as big as Garpeel and Clucks can put in. So
very good.
And this is going to be also every year as the tree grows, our event will grow. So it's going to coincide with the tree growing and our event being bigger and bigger every year.
Wow. Sounds like a fun time. You know, and you think about it, it's just about 6 months away from when the fireworks are. 5 months, thereabouts. So it gives you another chance to shoot off fireworks, Tom. I know you.
It's fun. It's exciting. Got a good plan for 2021, 2022. So
plenty of parking. Any charge at all for this?
Well, you know, we're not charges, no entry fees. The only thing is, if you want to eat from a food truck, or you want something to drink or adult beverage or whatever, there will be a charge for that. But the bands and everything are free. So we just want people to come out and have some fun.
All right. Mark that on your calendars. Yep. Go ahead.
And our friends from Saginaw Township are a great help. We've got all the way up to the manager, the assistant manager, everybody in the township's all behind us. So this is a township event.
Fantastic. December 4th. Sounds like a fun time. Christmas party on McCarty. John, Tom, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Take care now. Bye-bye. John Howard and Thomas Roy. Tom, of course, involved with the Saginaw Area Fireworks. He's the president of the Fireworks Board. But that's an interesting concept. A Christmas party on McCarty. Should be a lot of fun. Let's hope the weatherman cooperates. We're going to take a break. Come back, chat about a couple of things. Around 10:30, we're going to move on to a play at the Bay City Players that has to do with the Edmond Fitzgerald, which, of course, tomorrow being the anniversary. We'll talk about that when we return.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jay Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. Planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell. Of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
Hi, welcome to Furniture Depot. And you, come on in. Yes.
Couches are flying off the floor at Cheyenne's Furniture Store.
Sarah, can you go over to dining sets, please?
She needs more sales associates before shoppers take their seats
Can
elsewhere.
somebody get me a price check on trundle beds?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
And this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open mixed, but General Electric shares are rallying after the company revealed plans to split into 3 separate publicly traded businesses: healthcare, energy, and aviation. Digital currencies are higher. Bitcoin and Ether have been trading at records today. Prices at the wholesale level rose again last month, offering no relief from inflation for now. The producer price index was up 0.6% in October and is up 8.6% over the past year. Shares of gaming company Roblox are jumping. Its revenues more than doubled in the summer quarter. Amazon is looking to set investigations in the European Union that involve the treatment of third-party sellers and other issues. Reuters says Amazon is trying to head off huge fines. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda. Invested in you.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have behind them, and you cannot rely on them. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked. I uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com. Visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Trying to find when and where you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football on WSGW? Just click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com for complete game time listings. That's WSGW.com.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Oh, got to mention this. I just got the email. As you know, there's a band called Greta Van Fleet. Originally from Frankenmuth, they formed in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. They have just agreed to bring their tour, the Dreams of Gold Tour 2022, to the Dow Event Center, March 13th. Greta Van Fleet, local guys made good, coming home to the Dow on, again, that is March 13th, 2022. Find out more, I'm sure, at the Dow Event Center website. Sounds good. Greta Van Fleet. You know, it just proves guys with talent from anywhere can make it. These guys from Frankenmuth, Michigan, like almost a garage band, grows up and gets a recording contract and hits it big. Looking forward to it. March 13th. Mark it down on your calendar. We don't have time to take calls right now because we're going to be chatting with folks from the Bay City Players. But I wanted to go over some of the things included in the $1.2 billion hard infrastructure bill. I call it hard infrastructure bill. The other one, I don't call an infrastructure bill, the Build Back Better plan. It's just, I call it a giveaway plan, but that's beside the point. Here's what the infrastructure bill will provide. $110 billion for roads and bridges, more than 45,000 bridges nationwide rated in poor condition. The bill includes $16 billion for major projects that are too large or complex for traditional funding. $66 billion for Amtrak for passenger and freight rail. The bill aims to eliminate Amtrak's maintenance backlog and to modernize the Northeast Corridor, which, for those of you that don't follow Amtrak, is actually profitable. They want to increase the speeds. They have new Acela train sets coming, so they're going to put some money back into the Northeast Corridor. $65 billion to expand broadband internet access. As many as 40 million Americans lack broadband, and the Biden administration originally wanted $100 billion for it, but they got 65. $65 billion to rebuild the electric grid with renewable energy and thousands of miles of new power lines. I hope some of that money goes to protect that grid. $55 billion to upgrade water systems with the goal of replacing the country's lead service pipes. $42 billion for airports, waterways, port infrastructure. Airports would receive $25 billion of that. $39 billion for public transit. The bill aims to repair and upgrade transit systems and make stations more accessible to elderly and passengers with disabilities. I would assume that includes light rail and subways. $7.5 billion for charging stations for electric vehicles, and $7.5 billion for electric buses. Now, the question is, after all the hoopla and the push to get this done, will the president go right ahead and sign it? Or is he going to play the hostage game? They wanted the bill passed. They got the bill passed. It's been sent to the president. What's he waiting for? Or is he playing the same game the squad's been playing? Well, we won't vote for it if you don't pass the Build Back Better. Is he going to hold it hostage now for the Build Back Better? Or is he going to do what's right and sign it? Because at least it's a bipartisan piece of legislation. Time will tell. Don't know, but I just know that it's one piece of legislation the general public favors. Infrastructure's been neglected for a long time, particularly that piece to replace the lead service lines around the country. And once and for all, be free of those worries. Flint, Benton Harbor, perfect examples of why we need to do that and why it needs to be done now, not down the road after we have more of these failures. But they play the political game. Something interesting yesterday. I got to moderate a panel discussion yesterday at the Great Lakes Bay Economics Club. 4 representatives were there. There was Senators Thomas and Horn, Representatives Frederick and O'Neill. For those of you not familiar with Representative Frederick, Ben Frederick, he is the Republican floor leader in the House. And Amos O'Neill, Representative O'Neill, representing Saginaw, and Senators Horn and Thomas. And I asked at the end about partisanship in politics today, and what's it really like on the floors of the Senate and the House in Lansing. And their answer, I guess, did not surprise me because I knew it was true. To a man, all four of them said, hey, you know, on the issues that affect the people in our districts, we all get along. Our region, this region, the Great Lakes Bay region, all of the representatives get along, and we work for the region, and we overcome differences. And there's a lot of bipartisanship. And Amos O'Neill and Representative Frederick, a Republican, Amos O'Neill, a Democrat, both agreed. They can sit down and they can work things out, and they do it all the time. That's not what we hear about in the media. Of course, in the media, we hear about all the negatives and all of the polarization because it's there, but it's there on the big issues on a national scale and to some degree on a state scale too. But the issues that need to be taken care of on a daily basis are taken care of. All right, we're going to take a break. We come back, we're going to talk to Liz Dewy and also Kerry Butler. They are part of the Bay City Players and a new play coming along 10 November. We'll talk about that right after these notes. We'll be back.
Get a head start on your Christmas shopping at Lehman's Green Apple Barn's Christmas Open House, November 13th and 14th. Looking for all? Shop their wide variety of homemade items, including decor, jams, jellies, dressings, syrup, and more. Fresh greens, including wreaths, garland, grave blankets, and porch decor will be available for sale. Purchase day of or place an order. They'll have a small number of samples that'll be served safely, such as apple chips, barbecue sauce, and more. Admission is free at Lehman's Green Apple Barn's Christmas Open House, November 13th and 14th.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive information on locations and times near you. Will end is with us. So let's all do our part to stay healthy and get vaccinated. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we can finally end COVID-19.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-7526.
The hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
RocketCrabPlus.com.
5.
Hey, what's with the countdown?
4.
I'm
getting ready to jump onto RocketCrabPlus.com.
Are you wearing a spacesuit?
1.
Yep, it's go time.
Log on to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and check out new deals every week on dining, services, fun activities, and a whole lot more, where you can save 50% right here in the Tri-Cities and beyond. Looking no further than RocketGrabPlus.com.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate, with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them, and you cannot rely on them. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Line from the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, back with you. Tomorrow, the 10th of November, of course, the anniversary of the sinking of the Edmond Fitzgerald on Lake Superior. And there is a play about that. The Bay City Players put it on last weekend, and they are putting it on this weekend. So we are in the middle of the production, but how timely, since tomorrow is the anniversary. We say good morning to the director of the play, Liz Dewy. Liz, good morning.
Hello.
And the assistant director, Carrie Butler, also with us this morning. Carrie, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
So let's talk about 10 November, the story of the Edmond Fitzgerald. Is this an older play or is this a fairly new musical?
It was written in 1987, so again, much more has been learned since then. But the playwright was from Denver. He didn't even know the song by Gordon Lightfoot was based on a real event until he moved to the Midwest. And he was commissioned along with the singer, the songwriter, to write a play for. And this was what they came up with.
This never made it to the big stage, never made it to Broadway, did it?
No, it's fairly popular around the Midwest, as you can well imagine.
Yeah. So I noticed in looking at this is a large cast for the Bay City Players. There's 15 people in this cast. Is that right?
Technically speaking, yeah.
Technically speaking.
It's 9 actors, and then it is a cast, or then you've got a band. So you've got 3 female singers and then a band. So it leads you to think that the cast is bigger than it actually is.
Well, that's good. So tell us, talk about the theme of this. How is it a natural progression of time, or what does it focus on?
No, it says there was going to be no attempt to be documentary or to assign blame. It was about people's responses, about the responses of the men who worked on the lake.
So would you, if you were to categorize this play, would it be a tragedy?
In some ways,
yes. It's an episodic series of events. So there's some comedy, there's some tragedy. Each episode holds its own set of emotions. Can't really classify it as a dramedy or a drama or a tragedy or a comedy. It's just episodic. And episodic, it kind of leads to being able to pick its own emotion per sequence of the show.
So what?
We did hear responses from the audience members over the weekend that it was moving, not what they expected, but they enjoyed it very, very much.
So this weekend, then, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, are the final opportunities to see the production. Tell us about times and tickets.
Friday and Saturday night, the curtain is at 7:30. The matinee on Sunday is at 3. Get tickets by calling the Players box office at 893-5555.
And don't forget the 989 area code.
Oh, yes. Now we all have to dial in the area code, yes. A new habit to develop.
Yep.
Or you can go to baycityplayers.org and buy tickets online. Do not buy tickets anywhere but through our website.
Yeah.
And tickets are $20 a piece.
And how long does the production run, roughly?
About 2 hours.
It's a little over 2 hours with intermission.
Well, timing perfect. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the sinking of the Edmond Fitzgerald. We hope you get big crowds.
Cast members and crew have all become Great Lakes scholars, and we've all learned more and more and more about the Fitz and the lakes in general. So, and we've had people who were in the audience tell us, I went home and researched this. It was fascinating.
So I'm curious, and I don't know if you know this or not, Liz, but from the time this was written in '87 to today, and you mentioned it earlier, we've learned a lot more about the wreck and a lot more about the Fitzgerald. Have there been modifications to this play all along or not?
No.
Really? So this is the way it was in '87.
Yes. And again, it's a documentary. It deals with what they knew at the time, and it's more about how we all respond to tragedy, whether it happens to us or whether we're viewing it.
So it's more about people than the event itself.
Yeah, people and people's reactions to such events.
Excellent.
And kind of what the, crew was probably going through at the time, the emotion of fear and family emotion and loss. And so as far as like the updated information and the things that learned about the Fitz and the sinking from even 87 forward, doesn't really matter in the context of this show, because this show is more about explaining what that tragedy did to the community and the state.
Yeah. Well, it sounds very interesting. And again, for those that wish to go, Friday and Saturday, curtain at 7:30, Sunday at 3:00 at the Bay City Players in Bay City. And you can go online to baycityplayers.org for ticket information. Liz,
Exactly.
Liz, and yeah, go ahead. You can say something.
Yes, I'm sure that people will find the play, as it said to us, touching, moving, enjoyable.
Very good. Well, Liz, Carrie, thank you, and hope you get a full house.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day. Bye-bye now.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Interesting, an interesting notion. 10 November is the name of it. And of course, the Fitzgerald sank on Lake Superior on November 10th in 75. Lost the crew of 29. And this is the story told in song and through the characters, the captain, crew, etc. We thank them for being with us. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour. For something you want to talk about, give us a call at 989-752-6111 or toll free 866-790-WSGW inside the state of Michigan. How was your sleep last night? Today's workers are asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and you spend a third of your life there, you really need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you are using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality, good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. Now, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress factory and showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport, or visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757. We'll take a break and we will be back with open phones for the remainder of the hour.
Fall is here, and so are yummy fall flavors. For every delicious moment that happens as the seasons change,
Edible Arrangements in Saginaw is here too. Celebrate teachers and students, coaches and sports stars, and friends and family with a variety of gourmet, creamy, caramel-covered, decadent, chocolatey, life of the party gifts. Visit Edible Arrangements in Saginaw today or order online at ediblearrangements.com to have the celebration delivered.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
With daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the son's bunk bed. That is, until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
White mold and sudden death syndrome are two of the most important fungal diseases in soybean production today. But did you know 40 to 50 million acres in the north central region are affected annually? When every season has different disease challenges, the question becomes, how can you ensure the best start? The answer is Heads Up. Trusted by growers across the Midwest, Heads Up offers a new mode of action to prime your beans to help fight fungal disease. Compatible and cost-effective. For more information, visit headsupst.com.
Slider to Zadina, scores! There's that rocket shot by Zadina. First goal of the season. And it's 2-1 Detroit.
The Red Wings play 7:15 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. Mike is in Bay City, so let's go to our phones. Mike, good morning to you.
Morning, Art. Not to overshadow the tragedy of the Edmond Fitzgerald, but tomorrow, 246 years ago, Continental Congress formed the United States Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So they ordered, yeah, and that's the Marine Corps birthday. And like I said, not to overshadow anything else, but 200 years before that, the United States Marine Corps was formed and been performing wonderfully ever since. So,
Absolutely. And then on Thursday, we can celebrate all veterans, including the Marines.
Everybody, yeah. It was so about, but yeah, I just thought I'd give everybody a Semper Fi out there in the Marines.
Hoorah!
Yeah, hoorah! That's right. we invented that. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
That's true. Mike? When did you serve?
68, 70, Vietnam for 13 months.
Thank you for your service.
Well, it was my privilege, Art. My privilege to serve this country.
Yeah, I just wish back then the folks like you who came home were treated a little better.
Well, my family welcomed me. That's what I needed. I had my faith and family, so.
That's good. Good.
Yeah,
All right. Listen, friend, thanks for reminding us, and, happy birthday to the Marines tomorrow.
Okay, thanks a lot, Art.
You bet.
Have a good day.
Take care. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Errol this morning. Errol, good morning. Errol? Are you there, Errol? Did Errol disappear on us? No Errol. Well, all right then. Guess I won't talk to him. Glad Mike reminded us that, though. And Thursday, in celebration of Veterans Day, we're going to welcome to the program John Ryder from the Michigan Heroes Museum in Frankenmuth. We'll talk about Veterans Day and that absolutely wonderful, wonderful building in Frankenmuth. If you have never been to the Michigan Heroes Museum, you really owe it to yourself. And particularly if you have youngsters or grandchildren, take them so they understand the sacrifices that have been made so that they can enjoy their life in this country. It is an absolutely spectacular building. Houses more Medal of Honors than any other building in the country, and tells the story of Michigan's participation in all these wars through the various displays and uniforms. And it's staffed by knowledgeable people, as you'll learn tomorrow when we talk to John. Let's talk to, is that Don in Bay City? Yeah. Don, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Art. Little additive information with regard to 10 November play at this free exhibit in the lobbies that was put on by the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society.
Oh, cool.
Vintage freighters, some of the 500 built on the Saginaw River over the years. A ship's wheel there that people can get their picture taken with. A variety of other maritime artifacts. And at the end of the play, the bell that's used to ring the 25 names of the lost sailors of the Fitzgerald is from the shipwreck Hannah off the Thumb of Michigan.
Wow.
And it's an actual ship's bell.
Let me ask you a question, Don, about the Maritime Museum. Does it have a permanent home now?
No, we have an exhibit at the Bay City Mall, and that is going to get expanded to another location within the mall later this winter. And things are going forward with the lighthouse, where there'll be other exhibits in the future.
And that will that turn into the permanent home, the lighthouse?
A good chance. Our bigger items, we have the two oldest vessels that have survived that were two Defoe-built pleasure craft. They're at the Toy and Fire Truck Museum. One of those is 30 feet long.
Yeah. It just seems to me, and I've always felt this way, with the maritime history that we have along the Saginaw River and the Saginaw Bay, that a museum like that should have a permanent home and be a neat tourist attraction. I just have always felt that.
Yes, I'm 100% with you. This was logging capital of the world, and 500 ships. It's not including the pleasure craft industry that was along the river. People have a hard time thinking we go clear to Carlton. There were shipbuilders.
Yeah. Yep. Quite a history. At least guys like you are preserving it.
Yeah. We have programs every third Saturday at Trinity Episcopal that are free to the public, 6:30 every third Saturday, not in December though.
Mm-hmm.
And we have great presentations and a huge video screen. So we're on Facebook. Look, Saginaw River Marine Historical Society.
Excellent. Don,
on the best free show in town.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And again, if anybody wants to see the current exhibit at the lobby of the Bay City Players, right?
Yes, that's open free every day during their ticket hours between 10 and 2 and before showtime.
Excellent.
So they don't have to go to the show to see the exhibit.
Don, I appreciate the call this morning.
You're welcome. Take care. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye now.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, it is interesting. This area was knee-deep in shipbuilding for decades. There is a tremendous amount of history along the Saginaw River and the Saginaw Bay. And as I said to Don, I've always felt that the River Historical Society, Saginaw River Historical Society, should have a permanent museum home where people can go and study the history. Now, I know the historical museums have a lot of information in their archives, and every now and then there are exhibits that go up. But I'm talking about a maritime museum all by itself, a standalone maritime museum. I just think this area and its history deserve it. Always have. There is so much, so many stories to tell. I think it would be a success. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, close out this edition of the Art Lewis Show.
Home is a feeling of security and the place you want to come back to again and again. Capoco Community Credit Union wants to be your home for any of your lending needs. Whether it is a new car, school, or even a new home, Capoco is there for you. And with features like e-sign, contactless lending, and Skip-a-Pay, it makes choosing easy. See a Capoco Community Credit Union loan officer today and ask how they can help. Find out more at capoco.org, an equal housing lender. Member NCUA.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them, and you cannot rely on them. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Hundreds of thousands of people have said goodbye to Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile plans and switched to Pure Talk. It's CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Did you know Pure Talk gives you the same great coverage on the same great 5G network as one of the big guys for about half the cost? The average family is saving over $800 a year. You can keep your number and keep your phone or get huge discounts on the latest iPhones and Androids. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. Or if you want unlimited data, you can still save a fortune. With U.S.-based customer service, Pure Talk treats their customers right. Plus, they have a 30-day risk-free guarantee, so you literally have nothing to lose. From your 50 and say Jill 50 to save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, say Jill 50. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790. Wsgw.
All right, that does it for the Art Lewis Show. Coming to you from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. Our thanks to Linda Shepard from Pinnacle Realty for sponsoring the show. News coming up at the top of the hour. We'll be back with Focus to focus on Medicare Choices.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSG. Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kafin. The FBI is part of the investigation into the deadly Houston. And there are calls for an independent panel to look into it. CBS's Lilia Luciano says rapper Travis Scott is named in the dozens of lawsuits that have been filed by families of the dead and injured.
He announced that he will be covering the funeral expenses of the victims and that he's partnering with a company to provide free therapy to the people who went to the concert and are in need as Houston continues to cope with this tragedy.
A UN panel at the climate. Global warming has affected women disproportionately, and CBS's Kara Cordy says pregnant women are impacted by extreme heat and pollution.
These climate-related risks are just exacerbating a pre-existing maternal health crisis in this country. The average American is likely to die from pregnancy complications than our mothers were a generation ago, and Black and Indigenous women are another 2 to 3 times more likely to die.
For the first time in nearly a century, people will be allowed to place flowers at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Karen Durham Aguilera is executive director of National Cemetery.
This is the first time in 96 years that visitors have ever allowed to approach the next 2 days will truly be historic and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
The site is marking its 100th anniversary on Thursday. St. Michael's College in Vermont has gone to online instruction only after a COVID outbreak blamed on Halloween parties. More than 70 students testing positive. World Health Organization warning today of a shortfall of syringes in 2022, something that could slow efforts in countries where vaccinations have lagged. Big changes are coming for an iconic American company, General Electric. CBS's Jim Krasula.
The company says it will spin off its healthcare business and its energy segment, which includes its renewable energy, power, in early 2024. GE will maintain a 20% stake in the healthcare unit.
Former Georgia Senator Max Cleland has died at 79. An aide says it was congestive heart failure. Cleland lost 3 limbs to a grenade blast in the Vietnam War. He also served as administrator of the Veterans Administration. Actor Dean Stockwell has died, married to the mob, got him an Oscar nomination. Quantum Leap was one of his memorable TV jobs.
What's happening, Gushy? He's leaping! He can't leap. We're not ready.
Dean Stockwell was 85 years old. Wall Street right now, 151 points. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
One of the great tenors is coming. Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort proudly presents Jonathan Antoine, Saturday night, December 18th. The musical sensation of Britain's Got Talent, Jonathan Antoine. Tickets start at $25. On sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com. The majesty and grace of one of the great young tenors, Jonathan Antoine at Soaring Eagle Casino. Enjoy a magical Christmas with Jonathan Antoine, Saturday night, December 18th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Tickets on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Spectrum Business knows small businesses are always looking to cut expenses. That's why we offer the best value on fast internet and phone. So, how does 1 month free sound? Get 200 megabit per second internet for $49.99 a month and business phone for $19.99 a month. And right now, you can get 1 month of internet and phone and even TV for free. Call 855-258-5887 and switch to Spectrum Business. Restrictions apply.
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem.
10 gallons of gas, cash or credit.
Yesterday's lottery ticket won't fill up your tank because when you're feeding a gambling problem,
okay, your grocery total is $98.
it's difficult putting food on the table, paying your bills, and keeping your life together. If you're struggling with gambling, get free confidential help at michigan.gov/problem gambling. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 50 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. According to officials from Plant Moran Accounting, Saginaw's American Rescue Act funds need to be used for things run by the city or back to the federal government. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
Accounting firm representatives speaking at this week's city council meeting shared there are a handful of categories which the city can use with minimal risk, but none include third parties requesting aid from the city, like nursing homes or businesses shorted or overworked during the pandemic. Mayor Brenda Moore says council has been holding ARPA open house events and receiving ideas for allocation, but those not currently falling under municipal use could cause financial issues if acted on. Categories the funding can be used for include supporting public health expenditures like installing sanitary HVAC systems in city facilities, providing premium pay for essential city employees, addressing lost city revenue, addressing harm to public more commonly seen in municipalities on native land, and investing in water, sewer, and broadband infrastructure. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
A marijuana quality control facility will soon be coming to Saginaw Township. In a unanimous vote yesterday, the Township Board of Trustees approved allowing a testing facility within its borders. The facility will have a lab which will conduct quality assurance tests for things like potency, moisture, and pesticides. Once such a business receives clearance from the state, it will need to go through a lengthy process after applying in the township, including appearing before the board, getting a special public hearing, notifying neighboring property owners when choosing a location, and more. The township previously cannabis-related businesses, recreational or medicinal, within its borders. It isn't clear what prompted officials to change their minds, but they called the testing facility the least controversial use under the regulation. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. .com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. A school bus crashed in Tuscola County yesterday, injuring the driver and 4 students. Police say the bus, driven by a 35-year-old Reese woman, was on Beeble Road near Calling Road in Elmer Township just before noon. The students were from Akron and Fairgrove schools and were on their way to the Carroll Tech Center. A 38-year-old Fairgrove woman driving a 2015 Chevy Trax was stopped at the intersection and then moved forward and hit the bus. The bus sustained a broken axle, causing the driver to lose control. It overturned in a ditch. The injuries. The driver was also treated at a local hospital. The Chevy driver refused treatment. The crash is under investigation. The Biden administration's requirement that many private sector workers be fully vaccinated against COVID-19, or if their employers allow it, get tested weekly, also applies to many of the roughly 586,000 government employees in Michigan. That's because Michigan is one of 26 states to operate and enforce workplace safety rules instead of the U.S. government. Federal law requires those states to cover state and local government workers, including school employees, private with 100 or more employers and 100 or more workers, that is, must require them to get fully vaccinated by January 4th. Employers can instead adopt a policy mandating employees to either get vaccinated or undergo weekly COVID-19 testing. 53.4 million Americans will travel over Thanksgiving, and that's 13% higher than last year. In Michigan, 1.6 million residents will travel, and that's with higher gas prices.
Michigan right now is seeing our highest gas prices all year. The Michigan state average is currently sitting around $3.40 regular unleaded. And heading into the holiday right now where gas prices stand, we're seeing the highest Thanksgiving gas prices since about 2012.
That's AAA's Adrienne Woodland. She says gas prices are up because of higher crude oil prices. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few spotty rain showers possible late today, otherwise mostly cloudy skies with a high into the mid-50s. Winds out of the northeast strong hour. Then for tonight, decreasing cloud cover with a low near 32. Wednesday, we'll see increasing clouds, a high of 54 degrees. Then by Thursday, a chance for some rain showers here with cloudy skies and a high around 60. Friday, a chance for rain showers here late. Partial sunshine develops, high 47 degrees. Saturday, mostly cloudy and a high around 44. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 51.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, sponsored by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. We find ourselves in the middle of the window for Medicare. So we're going to talk about that this morning. Returning for another visit, we say good morning to Jeff Carrick from Medicare Choices. Good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Good to see you. And I can see him. If you watch us on video, we can see each other. Has the window of time been extended at all, or is December 7th still the drop dead date?
December 7th is the last date for you to make a change during the annual enrollment period.
Let's talk about this for a minute. Talk about the window, and when you say change, what are we talking about changing?
Well, depending on what Medicare plan you have, it's an opportunity to switch from a Medigap plan over to a Medicare Advantage plan to the hybrid Medicare plan. I mean, this is the type of year that you want to make your changes. You can add dental, take away dental, any of those changes that you want to make a change to for 2022.
We are inundated, as you probably well know, by commercials on TV for third-party clearinghouses, if you will, that tell us, oh, we can get free dental, we can get free eye, we can get money back in our Social Security, we can get zero premium, we can do all of that. Now, while it's true some people can do all of that, most people don't qualify for all of that, do they?
No. Basically, those commercials are trying to put on there anything that they possibly can to get you to pick up the phone and deal with an agent from Texas or California or Florida, when you got agents right here in the Saginaw area where you can sit down and meet with them face to face to cover all their needs and wants in their Medicare plan.
And get the exact same deals, right?
There is nothing those ads can do that Jeff Carrick and Medicare Choices can't do.
Yeah. A lot of it is, when you hear these things, you forget that a lot of them are based on income, things of that nature, right?
Sure.
And where you live. Not all plans available in all zip codes and things of that nature.
Correct.
You really have to tailor the plan to where you are and who you are, don't you?
Absolutely. And we have all the carriers here in the state of Michigan. We have the software where you can plug in all of your information and show all the different plans that are available to you here in the area.
It's an interesting question. Someone comes to you and let's say they're on Medicare, they got A, B, they got a drug plan, maybe they have a Medigap plan. They bring that to you. What information do you need to plug in to see what you can do for them that might improve their insurance?
Well, one of the most important things is the current prescriptions that they're taking. Each plan has their own formulary. All the drugs are covered differently on different companies' formularies. And that's why we shop that around to find out, because sometimes the prescription coverage can be more beneficial than what even the health coverage is, because a lot of the plans are really close in coverage. One of the big differences is the prescription coverage.
It's an interesting comment, because as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, like Medigap plans, Medigap Plan G from Carrier A is exactly the same plan as Medigap G from Carrier B, because the federal government initiated all those plans, right? The alphabet soup of Medigap plans. So it doesn't matter. They're all the same, but the price may be different.
Exactly. The coverage is exactly the same. If you get a Medigap Plan G, it doesn't matter what company you go with, the coverage is exactly the same. G covers medically everything 100% except for the Part B deductible.
So the same cannot be said of Part D prescription plans. There is not one plan fits all from the government, right? Every company has their own
formulary,
which determines how much they pay for what drug.
Yep. The only federal government requirement is the federal government says that in every therapeutic category, they have to have at least 2 drugs in each of those categories.
Who decides what the tiers are? Which drugs are tier 1, which drugs are tier 2, etc.?
That would be based on the carrier. So that's why the prescription coverage is so important. The less expensive tier 1 drugs, and then you got your tier 2 generics, which are more expensive. And then normally tier 3 are your brand name drugs, and tier 4 and 5 are your specialty drugs, which can be very, very expensive.
Yeah. All right. Hang on, Jeff. I got to take a break. We're talking to Jeff Carrick from Medicare Choices, and we'll tell you how to contact Jeff here in the not too distant future. In the meantime, we're going to take a break, and then we will be back with more.
For almost 20 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Line-X have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because the rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV year-round.
Line-X is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
Essexville native John Paul Morosi returns to the Great Lakes Bay region as part of the Made in Michigan series at Morosi will share stories of his path from Bay City to the Tigers beat at the Detroit Free Press to his current role as analyst and reporter for the Major League Baseball Network. John Paul Morosi, Saturday, November 20th at 7:30 p.m. at Midland Center for the Arts. Tickets at midlandcenter.org.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at exergen.com.
Student loan debt has been steadily increasing, affecting approximately 44 million Americans.
I know people that are planning to die with that debt.
Watch the new documentary from Ramsey Solutions, Borrowed Future, How Student Loans Are Killing the American Dream on Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, or Google Play.
This is a Food for Families donation location update. Here are the participating businesses that you can visit to make your non-perishable food donations to help Food for Families. Crane's L&M Appliance Center on Bay Road, Saginaw. Vassar Building Center, West Side Saginaw Road, top of the hill, Vassar. Bum Bank, Wilder Road, Bay City. Eastern Road, Midland. Wolf Files Ace Hardware, State Street, Saginaw. The Michigan Sugar Processing Plants in Bay City, Seboween, Caro, Croswell. The 3 locations of Copaco Credit Union, Cabaret Trail, Saginaw, Straits Drive, Bay City, Wilder Road, Bay City. Big Dick Nursery, West Side Saginaw Road, Bay City. The Maytag Stores on Tittabawassee Road, Saginaw. The Kroger Plaza, Frankenmuth. The Maytag Outlet Store on Gratiot in Saginaw. Reinmold Printing on Blackbeak Drive in Saginaw, off Cardinal Park Drive behind Anderson Eye Associates, Tittabawassee Road. All food is collected and distributed to those in need by the Salvation Army locations in Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland. Thank you for helping Food for GW.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on Focus, talking about Medicare Choices with its owner, Jeff Carrick. Jeff, it's been observed that the Social Security age has moved up a little now. I think it's 67. Have they changed the age of eligibility for Medicare?
No, Medicare is still turning age 65, and you automatically get your Part A. There is Medicare for people under age 65 who have become disabled.
That's a disability type as opposed to just general Medicare.
Yep.
So when someone comes to you, how long does it take for you to find them a policy?
Well, the first question I'm going to ask them if they're turning 65 is whether or not they're drawing Social Security, because you automatically get a Medicare card with Part A and Part B turning age 65 unless you opt out. So if they're not drawing Social Security, they need to apply for Medicare.
And to avoid penalties, and correct me again if I'm wrong about this, but to avoid penalties, if you don't take Medicare, you have to have comparable insurance that's at least as good.
Yes, the federal government says you have to have a plan, like an employer-sponsored group plan that has good coverage and credible drug coverage in order to keep you out of that penalty for opting out of the Part B and the Part D.
From what you've seen, compared to employer-provided insurance, is Medicare a better insurance plan?
Well, it's funny. I just had that question come up probably twice in the last couple of days. And normally I can tell you this, that very, very seldom do I see an employer group plan become better option for you than going on to Medicare. First of all, the employer wants you to get off the employer group plan because the average age of the group determines on what the group rate is. And the lower that they can keep that average age, the better off they're going to be. And normally with the employer group plans, between the deductibles, the co-insurance, the amount of premium that you pay that goes towards you or your family on the employer group plan, it's a much, much better option to go with Medicare.
And even, and I know this from mine, and I mean, I'm 78 now, so it was 13 years ago when I went on. But at the time when I came off the employer plan, went on to Medicare with a prescription plan and with Plan F supplement, it cost me less and I had better insurance.
Absolutely. Plan F covers 100% of everything medical wise. Unfortunately, Plan F is no longer available. As of January 2020, the federal government took that plan away. Basically, the reason that the federal government took that plan away is because they wanted the Medicare beneficiary to have some kind of skin in the game and some kind of cost, because people were going to the emergency room because they had a runny nose and they wanted to get away from some of those great costs.
I mean, the skin in the game was the cost of Plan F, though. It cost more than the other plan.
Absolutely. That's why anybody with a Medigap plan should call us so that we can talk about the hybrid Medicare plan, which normally there's substantial savings versus the Medigap plans.
And the hybrid plan is what?
I wouldn't have enough time to explain it here. But basically, in a nutshell, why do we purchase a Medigap plan? It's because we don't have any out-of-pocket for hospitalizations, right, skilled nursing, and cancer. Those are the three big ones. And with the hybrid Medicare plan at a much, much lower premium, usually 1/3, 1/2 of the cost of the Medigap plan, you have no out-of-pocket for those three things the rest of your life. And the great thing about the hybrid Medicare plan is once we're locked you into a premium, the plan has never had a premium increase, where the Medigap plans are age rated and they do go up each and every year as you get older.
And one last question on that. Is there medical qualification for that plan?
For the hybrid plan, yes, there is. It's very, very, very lenient, but yes, there are some questions. Now, if you're turning age 65, there is a guaranteed issue for the hybrid Medicare plan, age 64.5 to age 65.5. Anything over 65.5, there is medical questions for qualifications, but again, they are super, super lenient.
All right. So how do people get a hold of you?
Please give us a call. Area code 989-899-6900. 7820. We're here locally right in Saginaw. We have 60 agents all throughout the state of Michigan. We can set you up with one of our 60 agents if you're not from the area. Again, that number is 989-899-7820.
All right, Jeff, we'll have to do it again.
Just want to say Veterans Day is tomorrow. We have super fantastic veterans plans where you can get the Part B give back, get a raise in your Social Security check. It's a PPO plan. It's a zero premium. It doesn't cost you anything. If you got the VA, even with TRICARE, there's tons of over-the-counter benefits and all that you would get at no cost.
All right. Give you a call, 989-899-7820. Jeff, thanks a lot. We'll do it again.
Great. Thanks for having me, Art.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Jeff Carrick from Medicare Choices. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for joining us, too, here on Focus. And we'll be back to close out after these notes.
Get a head start on your Christmas shopping at Lehman's Green Apple Barn's Christmas Open House, November 13th and 14th. Looking for a gift for that person that has it all? Shop their wide variety of homemade items, including decor, jams, jellies, dressings, syrup, and more. Fresh greens, including wreaths, garland, grave blankets, and porch decor will be available for sale. Purchase day of or place an order. They'll have a small number of samples that'll be served safely, such as apple chips, barbecue sauce, and more. Admission is free.